Let's talk about London MCM Comic-Con 2022. Well, after a long fucking time, I was home. Yep, here it is, London XL. All here in all its glory. Okay, well, to be fair, I haven't actually been to London Comic-Con since 2018, and this is actually my second time going here. But I have been to every single Comic-Con since 2012, or well, every single Manchester Comic-Con 2018 aside. But why am I saying it's good to be back home? Well, I mean, you could probably guess why. But I'm here anyway, it was all good, and it was so great to see some cosplayers again. When I reached the top of the stairs, I saw a whole bunch of cosplayers. That was where I really felt at home, especially considering I was in cosplay. I mean, look at them. There were so many. All the creativity and talent put into them, it was just so sublime and so phenomenal seeing them all there. One of them was even in season. Wasn't that hilarious? It was there when I had a bit of a thought. Hey, I'm cosplaying Kotaro Tatsumi, right? Why don't I find some Zombieland Saga cosplayers? I mean, after all, it can't be that hard, right? And then I got attacked by a dog. And so, it was time to go in. And, yeah, I could deal with queues. But then I realised the queue was pretty fucking long. Or was it? Because it was actually a simple walk into the entrance. And as I walked in, I wondered if the event was going to be fine. I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, there were a whole bunch of cosplayers I passed along the way. Even a dinosaur at one point. I made it to the entrance, and it was pretty easy. And so, with the power of bad video editing, I masked up. Only to find out I had to do some more walking just to get into the event. My destination at this point was the booth. Yeah, unlike previous years, we had to get a badge. It was all about some kind of security or something. After queuing up for a bit of a while, I eventually got the badge, and this is how I looked. Don't I look stupid? As I got into the hall, complete with a Freddie Mercury cosplayer blowing a kiss at me, I just had to breathe in all of the atmosphere. Yep, welcome home. But what was the first thing to do? Well, I was feeling a bit hungry actually, so I had to order some food. And there was a nice variety of stalls along the way when I got in. Rice bowls, Pakistani food, hot dogs, Taiwanese food, burgers, even some drinks as well, such as alcohol and bubble tea. I got the incredibly healthy combination of mac and cheese and Coke. So I walked around the main hall. And by the way, throughout this video, you're only going to see footage within the main hall. I didn't notice the artist corner or the creator center at all throughout the event, so, oops. There were a few stalls I passed along the way. First there was an origami stall past a cute Pop Asia area. And I mean, it was very fucking cute. There were all kinds of origami going on, and a few of the origami were in season for the holiday. That was pretty lovely, wasn't it? There was a general merchandise stall where they sold t-shirts, bags, trading cards. They were all mostly Pokemon themed, so that was fine, I guess. Of course, you can't have an MCM Comic-Con without manga, though you could have this particular MCM Comic-Con without anime titles, strangely. But with the manga, they had a good variety on sale, from your rom-coms to your shonen to your seinen to your isekai. And yes, they had some JoJo's, before you ask. There was a stall selling some figurines of various characters. One I kinda wasn't expecting was Johnny Silverhand from Cyberpunk.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
There was a stall filled with a variety of Japanese snacks, and I got some strawberry Pocky. I mean, after all, I really love Pocky. They're very delicious, and they're so tasty. Especially the strawberry flavor, it's so sweet. There were some Nendoroid stalls, where a variety of characters were being shown all around. Some I wasn't kind of expecting. I mean, you have Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth. Okay, fair enough. And you've also got Peko Pekoyama the VTuber. But then you have Neo from The Matrix. That was a bit weird. I know Nendoroids sometimes do non-Japanese anime characters, or well, non-Japanese characters in general, but it's a bit weird seeing a cute chibi version of Neo from The Matrix. Amongst these Nendoroids was, yes, an Among Us Nendoroid, but specifically Siesta. And you know what? I bought her. After all, I do really like the Detective light novel, but not the anime. I thought that was kind of not so great. Unfortunately, the Nendoroid stall didn't have any Zombieland Saga Nendoroids. Although, as a consultation prize, Mizuno recently had her Nendoroid announced, so that was all well and good. Probably the most interesting stall that I found was not really a stall, but actually a booth. A Sega booth. And they had a showcase of various games. Yakuza Kishin, Persona 5 Royal, that upcoming Sonic game that nobody's talking about. But most interesting of all for me, and I've got a fair bit to talk about on this one, they had that Demon Slayer game on Nintendo Switch. I never played a licensed anime game before, and I really do wish I had, but playing Demon Slayer, I had an absolute blast. It was fun, crazy, buttery smooth, tight controlled, and oftentimes funny. No, seriously, you have not seen pure humor from this game unless you haven't performed Zenitsu's ultimate art move if you've got his academy uniform on. It is fucking hilarious. And well, that's just like the anime, which I do like. We played 3 rounds in total. Well, I played 3 rounds in total, because I played with another person. I won 1 as Rengoku and Usui, then I lost another 2. Sucks to be me. But I played as Shinobu and Zenitsu in 1 round, which was worth it, and then another round I played as Daki, and that was fun. Even if I lost those 2 rounds. But eventually I had to come off, because there was something going on. What was that something? Well, it was a Spy Family panel, led by a Geordie guy, which featured Megan Shipman and Natalie von Sistine, who, as I mentioned in the announcement video, voices Yor and Anya respectively in the show. In the panel, they started off by talking about their experiences of working on the show in general, and how they approached their characters. Natalie knew she had to portray Yor as a cute, mysterious wife, who also just so happened to be assassin as well, and Megan Shipman jovially explained how she really enjoyed portraying Anya and all her crazy antics she got up to. They also talked a little bit about voice acting as well. You know, how to make a good first impression, how they got their start in the field of voice acting, how they eventually got recognised by Funimation, the like. They then did attempts at a Geordie accent, because of course they did. Honestly, it was pretty funny. And then they ate chocolate. And then they took some fan questions, which provided a bit more insight into what was going on. Overall, the panel I'd say was fun, insightful, and entertaining. I definitely enjoyed it. But I'll tell you what, before I saw that panel, I actually spoke to Megan Shipman herself. Most of my conversation with her consisted of asking for advice on what the hell I should do with voice acting, at least if she had any good advice. You know, how could an amateur like me become a pro like her? It mostly consisted of, start small, you know, you got a shit microphone, but you want to keep upgrading your mics, have some talent, get into projects, make contacts, and ensure you've got some kind of a good demo reel. All these I definitely have, except the last one. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of that demo reel I made last year. But it was all really useful advice, and insightful as well. All good for helping me improve in my acting career when I go forward. And helping matters was, well, Megan herself. She was warm, friendly, bubbly, cheerful, and just an overall joy to be with. I'm glad I really got the chance to speak to Megan Shipman, but you know who else I got to speak as well? Ray Chase. And yes, there were loads more guests around in the event as well. I would have loved to have spoken to every single one of them, but, well, I'm only one man, and I've only got so much time at the event. In case you don't know Ray Chase, he's done a whole bunch of voices for a lot of your favourite characters, Noctis from Final Fantasy XV being the biggest example. I mostly asked him similar questions to what I asked Megan earlier, but Ray's response was more or less, I did some theatre, I really like theatre, I studied theatre a lot, I also did a British accent as well. Yes, he actually mimicked a London accent in front of me, and I retorted in Cockney, because of course I can, what? Still, Ray's advice was good, genuine, and helpful. And again, he was also really friendly and a ton of fun to be with. But do you want to know the real highlight of that conversation? I got a selfie with him. And you know what? It was fucking worth it. Not every day you see me hanging out with any particular professional voice actor, but, well, here we are. I got a selfie with Ray Chase. I just mostly walked around the con after that. I saw some interesting cosplayers here and there. In fact, one of them I got a photo of, specifically a cosplayer of the Grim Reaper from Scary Movie. The first one, because I watched that film the night before. But that was it. But trust me, there were like loads of great cosplay there. Characters from Demon Slayer, One Piece, Naruto, Madoka, Cardcaptor Sakura, you name it, it was there. And they were all really, really good. Unfortunately for me, there was no other Zombieland Saga cosplayers besides myself. Although luckily, a few people, more than a few actually, managed to recognize me as Kotaro, which was really nice. One person who recognized me was actually caught off guard in a really good way. She wasn't expecting any form of Zombieland Saga cosplay whatsoever, let alone Kotaro Tatsumi. And so, throughout the rest of the event, I felt really honoured to have made this girl's day. I tried to shoot some more footage of the event, and, well, there were some other parts of the con that I saw. There was a robot event where I saw Optimus Prime transforming. At one point, remember that dinosaur that I saw when I was coming in? Well, he got into a bit of a fight with another dinosaur. There was even a part of the event where they had loads of Marvel and Star Wars figures and statues on display. They all looked really cool. Especially the Star Wars figures. Like, the amount of detail that went into all the Star Wars figures was just astonishing. I definitely admired the craftsmanship in all of those. But, alas, I wasn't able to shoot a whole bunch of more clips because eventually at one point, specifically when I shot this clip, my camera died. And I didn't have a spare battery on me. So, I managed to get some very quick footage on my phone. To sum up, I played a video game in the side quest booth. I ate some onigiri, which was really, really good. I tried and failed to queue for the cosplay final of the main stage, though I did watch the livestream on the live stage, so there was that. I bought an incredibly derpy plush toy of Mai Sakurajima from Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. Try saying that 3 times fast. I ate some dango, and eventually, it was getting pretty fucking late, so I went home. So then, Mike, what was your final thoughts about London MCM Comic Con? Well, I apologise in advance if I sound incredibly fucking cheesy, but I genuinely enjoyed my time. It was a damn good experience doing all the things I did at the event, learning how pro VAs got their start in the industry, witnessing a whole bunch of cosplayers, buying awesome merch, hanging out with like-minded people, and eating some goddamn fucking tasty food. It was like I was back home. A home filled with nerds and culture and taste and sheer beauty. Especially after that 2-year gap, you know? One thing I have noticed about some cons that I've been to in the past is that whatever anime is incredibly popular at the moment, there'll be a lot of representation of that particular anime, or anime-z, at that con. And this year was no different. I mean, Spy Family, for example. You got 2 English VAs from the show at that event, and there were a whole bunch of cosplayers from said anime, obviously as the Forgers. Who knows, maybe if Spy Room gets popular next year, maybe we'll be seeing a whole bunch of cosplayers there. And on top of that, the recently released Chainsaw Man anime got loads of love there. There were a whole bunch of Puchta soft toys and Denji cosplayers alike. And yes, even some cosplayers of Power as well. I want to make this point perfectly clear. I'm not complaining. I do like these shows. It's an observation that I have at these events. If I ever had the chance, would I go again? Well, yes, absolutely. If the stars align, that is. Me personally, I'd prefer to go to Manchester Comic Con again, since it's a little closer to where I'm based. But I'm absolutely down for going back to London Comic Con, if need be. And with that, I've got nothing else to say, so goodbye. Hey there everybody, don't forget to like the video and comment on it. If you want to keep up to date with all of my videos, click the subscribe button and ring that notification bell. Share this video around where you can, and follow me on Twitter with the link below.